Have you ever wondered if the people you trust the most are actually the ones holding the match that's about to light your whole world on fire? Or is it possible that the biggest betrayals aren't born out of malice, but out of a desperate need to finally stand in the sun? These are the questions we have to ask as we look at the absolute chaos set to explode on Tuesday, June 23rd, on The Bold and the Beautiful. It feels like we are watching a slow-motion train wreck where the victims are actually cheering as they head toward the cliff. The Forresters are currently living in a bubble of their own making, convinced that they own the very concept of fashion in Los Angeles. But while they are clinking glasses, the floor is being removed beneath them. Is this just a business rivalry? Or is it the final fracture of two families that were never meant to be one? The episode kicks off with what I can only describe as a masterclass in corporate hubris. Eric, Ridge, and Steffi are in an incredible mood, practically radiating the kind of confidence that only comes when you think you've already won the war. They are preparing to showcase Eric's new couture collection, a line that is supposed to be his triumphant return to the throne. From an analytical perspective, this is Eric trying to reclaim a legacy he felt was slipping away. He's not just designing clothes, he's designing a shield against irrelevance. He invites Dottie Bright and her assistant Joseph into the inner circle for an exclusive sneak peek at the line. On the surface, it's a gesture of friendship, but psychologically, it's a display of dominance. He wants the fashion elite to see that the old master still has the touch. My opinion? It's a dangerous move. When you show your hand before the game starts, you assume no one else is holding an ace. Dottie and Joseph are the perfect catalysts for this drama because they represent the court of high society. Having Morgan Fairchild return as Dottie is a brilliant meta move because her presence alone signals that this is an event of high stakes. As they marvel at the designs, the Forresters are sipping champagne in the CEO office, celebrating a victory that hasn't happened yet. This is classic Forrester behavior, confusing history with current market share. They believe that because they are the House of Forrester, the world will wait for them. But the reality of the modern fashion world is speed, and that is exactly what they have ignored. While they are basking in the glow of their own prestige, they have completely failed to realize that the House of Logan is not just a startup. It's a tactical strike team led by people who have nothing to lose. The atmosphere shifts from celebratory to chilling the moment Logan enters the conversation. Dottie, who lives for gossip as much as she lives for fashion, drops the ultimate bombshell. Logan is launching their new collection tomorrow. Can you imagine the sheer silence that must have hit that room? The Forresters are completely blindsided. Analysis-wise, this is a failure of intelligence on Ridge and Steffi's part. How do you let a rival fashion house get to a launch date without knowing? It suggests they were so focused on Eric's couture comeback that they stopped looking at the competition. Psychologically, this is a massive ego blow for Steffi. She prides herself on being a shark in the boardroom, but she just got outmaneuvered by Katie Logan. The timeline here is what makes it truly brutal. The Forresters had no idea Katie and Bill Spencer could move this fast. Emotionally, this is a moment of pure panic masked as outrage. They feel entitled to the spotlight, and the idea that the Logans are stealing their date feels like a personal attack rather than a business move. But let's be real. In fashion, timing is everything. Katie is using what I call the parasite strategy, inviting press and influencers who are already in town for the Forrester launch to attend her show instead. It's brilliant, it's cutthroat, and it's exactly what the Forresters deserve for being so complacent. I agree with Katie's move here. If you want to take down a dynasty, you don't play by their rules. Now, let's talk about the absolute heartbreak that is Brooke Logan. Brooke is currently floating on a cloud of delusion, practically glowing because she believes her daughter, Hope, is coming back to Forrester Creations. She thinks hope for the future is about to be resurrected under the Forrester roof. It is honestly painful to watch because the dramatic irony is so thick you could cut it with a pair of fabric shears. Brooke isn't just celebrating a business move, she's celebrating what she thinks is family unity. She has no idea that the homecoming she's throwing a party for is a total lie. Emotionally, Brooke is at her most vulnerable when she's proud of her children, and that makes the coming fall so much worse. The psychological layer of Hope's betrayal is where this story gets deep. Hope has been living a double life for weeks. She signed with Katie's Logan label back in May, but she's been walking the halls of Forrester pretending she's just on a leave of absence. Why would she do this? My interpretation is that Hope is suffering from a massive identity crisis. She wants to be the good girl her mother expects, but she also has a desperate need to carve out something that is hers alone, away from the Forrester shadow. By staying silent, she isn't just protecting a secret, she's delaying the inevitable moment when she has to choose between her blood and her career. It's a classic case of conflict avoidance that only serves to make the eventual conflict 1,000 times more explosive. The most damning piece of evidence against Hope is the Judas hug from the June 17th episode. Steffi, in a rare moment of grace, ended Hope's leave of absence and offered her an immediate relaunch of her line. She even hugged her. At that moment, Steffi was handing Hope everything she ever wanted on a silver platter. And what did Hope do? She took the hug, she took the olive branch, and then she went right back to Katie and recommitted to the Logan launch. This is where I have to disagree with Hope's actions. It's one thing to change jobs. It's another to let your rival, who is trying to be kind, look like a fool while you plot their downfall. Steffi is going to remember that hug not as a moment of peace, but as a moment of ultimate deception. As the news of the launch date sinks in at Forrester, the person who takes it the hardest is Brooke. She is a Logan by birth and a Forrester by marriage, and she is about to be caught in the crossfire of a war she didn't see coming. Her immediate reaction is one of defensive rage. She storms over to the Logan offices to demand answers from Katie. She wants to know who the mystery designer is and how Katie could be so tacky as to launch at the same time as Eric. This is Brooke's ego talking. She can't stand the idea that the Logans are being unfaithful to the Forrester brand, even though she herself is a Logan. It's a fascinating bit of psychological projection where she views any threat to Forrester as a threat to her own stability, but the real shocker of the Tuesday episode happens inside that office. While Brooke is screaming at Katie, Hope is actually hiding behind a screen, eavesdropping on her mother's meltdown. This is such a cowardly move, and it tells us everything we need to know about Hope's current mental state. She is literally hiding from the consequences of her own choices. Katie, on the other hand, is enjoying every second of it. She laughs at Brooke, calls her ridiculous, and refuses to give up any information. Katie is playing a high-stakes game of distraction, so Hope can slip out of the office undetected. Psychologically, Katie has fully embraced her role as the disruptor. She's no longer the sweet little sister. She's a woman who has realized that in the Spencer/Forrester world, kindness is often mistaken for weakness. Analytically, Bill Spencer's role in this cannot be overstated. He is the one funding this entire operation, and he is pushing everyone, including his son Wyatt, to ensure a total victory. Bill isn't just interested in fashion, he's interested in dominance. He's using the Logans as a weapon to dismantle the Forrester legacy piece by piece. Bill knows that if he can make the House of Logan the new standard for LA fashion, he wins on both a business and a personal level. He's even pressuring Wyatt regarding the Hope for the Future diamond, which is set to be the centerpiece of the Logan show. Bill's philosophy is simple: it's business, and in business, you don't have friends, you only have assets and obstacles. This brings us to the collateral damage of this war: the younger generation. Well, Spencer is caught in a terrible position. He knows about the jewelry line and the secrets his parents are keeping, and he's been sworn to secrecy. He's worried about his girlfriend, Electra Forrester, because he knows this launch is going to hurt her family. This is the tragic cycle of the bold and the beautiful, the sins of the parents being visited upon the children. Will is being forced to choose between his father's business-first mentality and his own moral compass. My prediction? This secret is going to drive a massive wedge between Will and Electra, proving once again that in this town, love rarely survives a fashion show. The escalation doesn't stop with the Tuesday confrontation. We are heading toward a runway show that sounds like nothing we've ever seen before. The spoilers suggest the House of Logan collection has a flamenco dancer flair, with black and white gowns and red rose hairpieces. This is a massive departure from the fluffy blue stuff we usually see from Hope. Interpretation-wise, this represents a new Hope. She is shedding the soft, virginal image of her past and embracing something darker, more sophisticated, and more aggressive. It's a visual representation of her defection. But what about the fallout? The Forresters are already on the defense, scrambling to figure out how to reclaim the spotlight. Ridge and Steffi are likely to go on a nasty tirade once the truth comes out. They've spent weeks being gracious to Hope and to them. This will feel like the ultimate backstab. There is even talk of legal recourse. Can you imagine a lawsuit between the Logans and the Forresters over Hope's contract? It would be a PR nightmare for everyone involved, but at this point, the emotions are running so high that logic has left the building. Psychologically, the Forresters are in protect the nest mode, which means they will be more dangerous and less rational than ever before. And then there is the question of Brooke's forgiveness. She has spent her entire life defending Hope, and now she has to face the fact that her daughter was the one who pulled the trigger on this fashion war. Brooke is going to feel betrayed by every living Logan, Katie, Hope, and even Donna, who knew what was happening and tried to stop it too late. This could be the most significant wound in the show's history because it attacks the very foundation of the Logan family bond. Brooke believes in the Logan sisters above all else, but Katie and Hope have just proven that they value victory over family transparency. I suspect Brooke will eventually forgive Hope, because she always does, but the relationship with Katie might be permanently altered. The irony of the situation is that Eric Forrester is the one who started this whole defection trend. He was the first to defect to Logan after feeling pushed out by Ridge. Bill Spencer made sure everyone knew that Eric came to them because his own son didn't want him. So, in a way, the Forresters created this monster. They created an environment where their most talented people felt undervalued and ignored. Now, they're acting like victims when those people take their talents elsewhere. It's a classic case of a dynasty failing to innovate and then blaming the world when it passes them by. My opinion is that the Forresters are their own worst enemies and the Logans are simply the ones smart enough to capitalize on it. Looking ahead to the rest of the week and into July sweeps, the stakes are only going to get higher. We have more guest stars coming in, including Lauren Herbert from Access Hollywood, which means the media coverage of this rivalry is going to be intense. This isn't just a quiet family feud, it's a public spectacle. The House of Logan hitting the runway is the moment of truth for Bill and Katie's biggest gamble. If the show is a hit, they have effectively ended the Forrester monopoly. If it's a flop, they've burned every bridge in town for nothing. But with Hope and Deacon at the helm, it's hard to imagine it won't be a sensation. We also have to consider the Liam Spencer factor. Hope is still married to Liam, and her professional bombshell is about to collide with her home life. Did Liam know? If he did, he's just as guilty of betraying the Forresters as Hope is. If he didn't, then his marriage is built on a foundation of lies. Either way, things are about to get very awkward for them. Liam has always tried to play both sides, but in a war like this, there is no middle ground. You are either with the Forresters or you are with the Logans. The fragile peace between these families is living on borrowed time, and the Tuesday reveal is the wrecking ball that finally brings the whole house down. As we wrap this up, the tension is at an all-time high. The Forresters are celebrating their upcoming masterpiece, while the Logans are literally waiting at the gates to storm the castle. It's a story of ego, betrayal, and the desperate need for validation. Whether you're Team Forrester or Team Logan, there's no denying that this is one of the most exciting storylines we've seen in years. It's messy, it's personal, and it's about to get incredibly ugly. This isn't just about clothes. It's about who has the power to define the future of fashion and family in Los Angeles. Now, I want to hear from you. This is a huge turning point for the show, and there are two big questions we need to settle. First, who do you actually blame more for this upcoming explosion? Is it Hope for the massive secrecy and the double life? Or do you think Steffi and Ridge brought this on themselves by benching Hope and making her feel like an afterthought? And second, do you think Brooke can ever truly forgive Katie for poaching her daughter and then laughing in her face about it? Or is this the end of the Logan sisters as we know them? This war is getting personal, and I want to know which side you're standing on. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's get a debate going. Have you ever felt that sinking feeling in your stomach? You know the one. It happens right when you realize you've been played. Not just tricked, but completely outmaneuvered by the people you trusted most. Well, if you're a Forrester, that feeling is about to hit you like a freight train on Tuesday, June 23rd. This isn't just another day at the office. This is the day the floor drops out from under the most powerful family in fashion. Are you ready to see some serious egos get bruised? Because the bold and the beautiful is about to get messy in the best way possible. Think about where we are right now. Eric, Ridge, and Steffi are on top of the world. They're in a fantastic mood. They're actually celebrating. They've got the champagne out in the CEO office. They're clinking glasses and talking about Eric's new couture line like it's already won every award in the book. It's that classic Forrester confidence. Or maybe it's just hubris. Do they really think they're the only game in town? Eric is looking at this collection as his big comeback. He wants to prove he's still the king. But isn't it funny how people always start celebrating right before the rug gets pulled? They even invite their old friends, Dottie Bright and her assistant Joseph, in for a sneak peek. Now, having Morgan Fairchild back as Dottie is a treat for us, but for the Forresters, she's the ultimate validation. If Dottie loves it, the world will love it. They're showing off these high-end designs, feeling like they own the runway. But while they're basking in the glow of Eric's genius, they're totally ignoring the storm clouds gathering at the Logan offices. Why do they do that? Why does this family always assume they have a monopoly on talent? It's like they have these massive blinders on. They're so focused on their own masterpiece that they can't even see the competition coming up in their rearview mirror. And then it happens. Dottie drops the bomb. She's not just there to look at clothes. She's there to gossip. And she has the mother of all secrets. She tells them that Logan is launching their new collection tomorrow. Can you imagine the silence that must have hit that room? 1 second, they're sipping bubbly. The next, they're staring at her with their jaws on the floor. They had no idea. How is that even possible? How does a major fashion house like Forrester Creations not know what their biggest rival is doing? It's a total failure of intelligence. Steffi is supposed to be this sharp, cutthroat CEO, but she just got blindsided. And the timing? It's brutal. Katie and Bill moved way faster than anyone thought possible. But here's the thing that really gets me. This isn't just about business. It's about the people involved. Think about Brooke. Poor Brooke. She is currently floating on a cloud of total delusion. She is practically glowing because she thinks her daughter, Hope, is coming back to the family fold. She thinks Hope is ending her leave of absence and bringing hope for the future back to Forrester. She's even throwing a little mental party for it. It is honestly heartbreaking to watch. Brooke isn't just a business mogul. She's a mom who wants her family together. She has no clue that she's celebrating a lie. How is she going to recover when she finds out her own daughter is the one leading the charge against her? And we have to talk about Hope. What is she thinking? She's been living this double life for weeks. She signed with Katie's new label back in May, but she's been walking around Forrester like nothing is wrong. Talk about a Judas move. The most painful part was that moment on June 17th. Steffi actually reached out to her. Steffi offered her a second chance and an immediate relaunch. She even gave her a hug. Can you believe that? Steffi was actually being kind, and Hope just took the hug while she had a knife behind her back. Why would she do that? Is she so desperate to get away from the Forrester shadow that she's willing to burn every bridge she has? It feels like Hope is going through a massive identity crisis. She wants to be the good girl, but she's acting like a total double agent. The scene on Tuesday gets even more intense. Brooke hears the news from Dottie, and she just loses it. She storms over to the Logan offices. She's demanding answers. She wants to know who this mystery designer is. She wants to know how Katie could be so tacky to launch at the same time as Eric. And the crazy part? Hope is right there. She's hiding behind a screen. She's literally eavesdropping on her mother's meltdown. Can you imagine the guilt? Or is it fear? Katie is just laughing in Brooke's face. She calls her ridiculous. She tells her she'll find out who the designer is when the rest of the world does. Katie is playing a dangerous game here. She's distracting Brooke so Hope can slip out of the office like a thief in the night. It's a total mess, and let's not forget the man behind the money, Bill Spencer. Bill doesn't care about fashion. He cares about winning. He's the one pushing this whole thing. He's even pressuring his son, Wyatt, to get that hope for the future diamond ready. Bill's philosophy is simple, it's business. He told his son Will the same thing. Will is worried about his girlfriend, Electra Forrester, because he knows this launch is going to hurt her. But Bill just shrugs it off. Does Bill even have a heart? Or is everything just a line on a spreadsheet to him? He's using the Logans to take down the Forresters once and for all. He knows that if this launch is a hit, the Forrester legacy is in serious trouble. The escalation is just starting.